From getting chased by the police to sleeping with LeBron's mom, these are times NBA players lost control. And first up, I never thought I'd see a player throw away a 10-year career until I saw Draymond Green lose his mind. See, the last 15 years of Draymond's life have been nothing short of eventful. However, now, it's all about to change. His 19 career ejections rank second all-time, trailing only Rasheed Wallace with 27. He kicked Steven Adams in the nuts, got in scuffles with Bradley Beal. Hell, he even beefs with his lover boy LeBron James. You name it, he's done it. But the crazy part of all, 6 out of his 19 ejections happened from December 2022 onward, one of which the Warriors were playing the Kings in the first round of the playoffs. When out of the blue, Domantas Sabonis grabs Draymond's leg, clearly illegal. But once Sabonis finally let go, Draymond retaliated in the most savage way possible.
And Curry's got the board. Green gets tied up. And a technical has been assessed.
In other words, instant ejection. 7 months later, he got ejected again. Only this time, it was for going at it with Donovan Mitchell. 4 days later, an incident happened that never should have happened at all, because against the Timberwolves, an altercation broke out between Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels. It had nothing to do with Draymond, but you know Draymond, bro thinks he's the third Splash brother. He'll do whatever it takes to look after his brothers.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Well, Draymond has got Gobert in a chokehold. This is ridiculous.
It's one thing to bicker, but Draymond has 7'1" Rudy Gobert by the throat. Clearly, this wasn't a good look for the NBA, but Adam Silver turned the other cheek and only handed Draymond a 5-game suspension. Safe to say, he didn't learn his lesson. 30 days later, on December 12, 2023, Draymond Green crossed the line again.
Passer.
Beal just picked up his third foul. And now Green runs over Nurkic, and he'll be called for the foul, and they're going to take a look at this. Oh, man.
Well, that's going to be a flagrant.
Yeah.
Dang, that was cold-blooded. Bro really said F that man. This left the refs with no choice but to kick Draymond out the game. But the officials weren't the only ones to take action. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver suspended Draymond Green indefinitely. Worse yet, Draymond Green lost the support of his coach, Steve Kerr.
Because the one who choked Rudy, the one who took a wild flail at Yusuf, the one who punched Jordan last year, that's the guy who has to change, and he knows that.
Damn, even Steve Kerr is turning on him. That's his OG. Maybe bro knows something we don't. That's when we decided to do some investigation. And guess what? We found a pattern. So here's the question. What do Domantas Sabonis, Rudy Gobert, and Jusuf Nurkic have in common? They are all European.
I know what Dre doing. He's taking care of these Euros one at a time.
Does Draymond hate European players, or is it just a giant coincidence? Mentally, this dude has had enough.
But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? At some point, the players must be respected in these situations, and it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of seeing it. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
On the other hand, the NBA's response to the Josh Giddy situation has been anything but expected. See, being a famous NBA player comes with a lot of perks. Not just making millions, you are famous. Suddenly, everyone wants to be your friend. People will do anything to get on your good side. There's only one caveat. Not everyone wants to be your friend for the right reasons. They want something in return. Some want pictures, some want autographs, and others, well, they want to ride you. Hey yo, chill dog, chill. A few weeks ago, Josh Giddy was at a local pub in Oklahoma City, enjoying the nightlife per usual, although what transpired that night was anything but usual. See this girl? Her name is Liv Cook, and she's allegedly only a junior in high school. That's right, a 21-year-old talking to an underage high schooler. So naturally, when a fan saw this interaction take place, he took notice. Why on earth was a 21-year-old talking to a 16-year-old at a pub? He proceeded to videotape the situation to get the inside scoop, and upon investigation, his worst fears came true. This wasn't just an interaction with a fan, bro was bricked up. So this fan did what any enraged person would do. He posted the footage on X for the entire world to see. Only once the world saw what happened, fans were in disbelief. In one of the videos, Giddy can be heard calling Cook his girl, before saying me and my girl were about to head back to mine. And worse yet, Liv Cook has all but confirmed the controversy.
Hey guys, I dated John
I don't think Josh Giddy realizes the magnitude of the situation. Sleeping with a minor is considered statutory rape, meaning that if he's convicted, Giddy would serve at least 15 years in prison. His whole career could be over just as it was getting started. That said, one fan figured out a massive loophole, and he may have just saved Giddy's life. As the fan pointed out, Liv Cook shouldn't have been at the bar in the first place. If she's indeed underage, this means one of two things was possible. Either Cook lied about her age to Giddy and got into the club with his influence, or Giddy would have met Cook at the bar, meaning she got in illegally. Regardless, it's possible that Josh Giddy didn't realize he was having a one-night stand with a minor. I mean, come on, bruh. You really had no clue? This girl doesn't need a one-night stand. She needs help with her bio homework. That said, Giddy is yet to receive a suspension from the NBA, so maybe this loophole is life's way of giving Josh Giddy a second chance. But not all players were as lucky. Just ask Antoine Walker. He's a 12-year NBA veteran who made quite the splash. Throughout his career, he averaged over 17 points, made 3 All-Star appearances, and won an NBA championship in 2006. But most notably, Walker secured the bag. In 12 years as a pro, he netted a whopping $108 million. He thought he had enough money to last him a lifetime. Walker grew up idolizing rappers like Jay-Z and Puff Daddy, and now he wanted to live like them. The cars, clothes, real estate, Walker wanted it all. In his playing days, Walker didn't just own 1 or 2 luxury cars, he had 5 or 6. This included a Maybach Mercedes-Benz, which cost him over $450,000.
I had 5 or 6 different cars, but I had the most expensive cars. When you're talking about Bentleys, Maybachs, Mercedes-Benz, so a lot of high-end things.
His taste in clothes wasn't any cheaper. Walker claims to have never worn the same designer suit twice, but he didn't just live the extravagant hip-hop lifestyle, he wanted to help those who mattered most, family and friends. After growing up in Chicago with a single mother, Walker wanted to make sure his family didn't struggle any longer. So when money was no longer a concern, Walker spent millions to move 10 to 15 of his family and friends to better situations.
I would say, 10 to 15 people. I took care of on a consistent basis outside of my family, just friends traveling, helping them out with their needs and things and their wants. So it's a combination of things that you go through to kind of eat up your money. We travel privately, we stayed in the best hotels. It's a combination of things that you go through throughout your career.
While this generosity is heartwarming, it came back to backfire. He was an open ATM throughout his career. Sooner or later, he couldn't afford to stay an open ATM. With his lavish lifestyle and questionable purchases, he was running out of money fast. It also didn't help that he adopted an equally toxic habit, gambling. Within 2 years of retirement, plus his real estate investments weren't doing much better. The 2008 housing market crash caused his Chicago real estate firm to implode.
I lost the bulk of my money investing in real estate. In which in 2007, 2008, we went through the recession. I'm sure this is a worldwide thing that we all went through. And I got caught up in that web, and that ultimately ended the bulk of my wealth. So you add those 3 things together, they played a huge part in me losing all my finances.
It was an endless cycle of poor decisions with money flying out the window left and right. Then, in 2010, Antoine Walker revealed some heartbreaking news. Within 2 years of having it all in the NBA, Walker had nothing. He was completely broke. In 2010, Walker declared bankruptcy. Since then, he's worked on FS1 as a basketball analyst to get back on his feet. All that to say, it's a lot easier to change when you've hit rock bottom. However, fans hope that isn't the case for Zion Williamson. He still has a promising career ahead of him, but not if he continues to make poor decisions. When the Pelicans drafted him first overall in 2019, Zion was one of the most hyped prospects in NBA history.
Is Zion the best prospect since the king, LeBron James?
I think so. Zion Williamson is a freak of nature. What you're looking at is a man-child, the likes of which you may not have seen since LeBron James.
But in the time since, Zion has only played more than 30 games once in his first 4 seasons. In 2019, he underwent surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his right knee, causing him to miss a significant portion of his rookie season. The following season, he missed the final 6 games due to a thumb injury. And if that wasn't already enough, he'd suffer another major scare ahead of the 2021 season. This time, it was a fractured right foot. In other words, this dude's body was more fragile than Ben Simmons' self-confidence. So naturally, at a certain point, these injuries start to take a toll, both physically and mentally.
So it's mentally, can I do it?
Yep.
Can I get out there and can I perform?
Yep.
And I think that's the big struggle. Physically, he might be. Mentally, sometimes is an even bigger hurdle to clear than being able to go out there and do said job.
And in 2021, Zion was at his wit's end. While recovering from foot surgery, the 6'6" forward ballooned to 330 pounds. For reference, the Pelicans' official roster listed his weight at 284 pounds. That's almost 50 pounds heavier.
Photo popped up of Zion recently.
Yeah.
He's out and about.
Okay.
He's big in the community.
It's a good DP phrase. Okay.
Reportedly 330 pounds.
Come on now.
Wow. Without basketball in his life, Zion lost his way. Fans quickly doubted Zion Williamson. Thankfully, these doubts didn't hold him back.
At the end of the day, I can't control what no grown man do. Can't control what no grown adult does. All I can do is control the things I can control, lock in on myself, lock in on my teammates, coaches, and everybody with the Pelicans, the city, and try to win.
In the offseason leading up to the 2022 season, bro trained tirelessly. My man was working out 2 times a day for 2 months straight. That dude says, screw Cancun, I'm living in the gym. Only one could argue that this was the greatest transformation since Thor and Endgame. Sadly, all the effort went to waste. In 2022, he only managed to play 29 games and missed the majority of the season with a hamstring injury. This brings us to present day. Zion may be healthy right now, but his weight is still a major concern. After the Pelicans were blown out by the Lakers in the in-season tournament semifinals, people were quick to point out Zion's weight.
You look like you showed up to the game having just ate a buffet. Not something from the buffet. I said the buffet. Like you ate the damn table.
In arguably the most important game of his career, Zion was nowhere to be found. From an outsider's perspective, Zion looks too heavy and in a slow-motion state compared to his college days. Pelicans reporter Christian Clarks admits that Zion's poor work ethic has been a source of frustration since they drafted him. Time will tell if Zion can improve his diet and conditioning, but if not, it may be the greatest $230 million heist in American history. But gaining weight is nothing compared to what LeBron experienced. Growing up, LeBron spent most of his life with a single mom. His father was absent from his life due to his criminal history, leaving his mother to raise him. It hasn't been easy for Gloria James. She was able to provide for LeBron. Today, he credits her for making him the man he is. But what if I told you that one teammate almost put their mother-son relationship in jeopardy? Because in 2010, all eyes were on LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was his final year under contract, and fans expected big things from their hometown hero. The Cavaliers made the postseason 4 seasons in a row, and the 2009-10 season would be no different. There was only one problem. Not all of LeBron's teammates had their eyes on the prize. Delonte West was too busy rizzing up LeBron's mom.
So, like, just tell me a little bit, like, what did you actually do to Gloria? Like, what was it?
The Golden Panther.
Is that even real, or?
Is it real?
Yeah.
Man, people, listen to me, man. People die because of the thing I'm talking about.
Man, that's messed up. It's one thing to date a cougar, it's another to have sex with your friend's mom. And the worst part of it all, the news broke during the postseason. In the first round, the Cavaliers steamrolled over the Bulls in 5 games. But in the next round, the wheels fell off the bus. They wound up losing to the Celtics in 6 games.
You know, you want to continue to win throughout the postseason. I mean, that's what I geared myself towards. And, you know, the fact that it's over right now is definitely a surprise for myself, but I mean, it is what it is.
Now, that's what you call a look of defeat. The dude lost a playoff series and a friend in just a few weeks. Speaking of which, this incident was one of the many controversies surrounding Delonte West. Little did fans know, West's personal life was falling apart in front of their very eyes. In 2008, he faced multiple personal issues, including bipolar disorder diagnosis. A year later, in 2009, West started getting into trouble with the law. He was arrested on September 17, 2009, after a police officer pulled him over for a traffic violation. Upon arresting Delonte West, the officer found 3 loaded guns in his possession.
I'm happy that this matter is finally resolved and behind me. I want to thank my family, my friends, and all my fans, my teammates, and the city of Cleveland, and especially my legal counsel, who's done an amazing job of supporting me and just standing behind me through this rough time.
However, soon, that'd be the least of his concerns. During the 2011 NBA lockout, he was waived by the Mavericks. He would never play in the NBA again. That's when his life really started to spiral out of control. He'd spend the next few years playing for multiple NBA D-League teams and playing overseas. But none of that could save Delonte West for what was ahead. In February 2016, a fan spotted West wandering barefoot outside a Jack in the Box. Then, 4 months later, a photo of West emerged of him panhandling in Maryland. He was homeless with no place to go. In 2020, fans saw West at his absolute worst.
Why'd you hit him? Did he attack you first from the top of the fence, or did you hit him?
Man, I walked down the street. The man approached me with an eye button with a gun.
Where's his gun at?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay. You know where his gun is?
I don't give a fuck.
That's when Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban stepped in not long after he was spotted panhandling near Dallas. Cuban offered to pay for his treatment at a drug rehabilitation facility. Fortunately, it appears that things have improved since then. He's even got picked up by the Big Three, a professional 3-on-3 basketball league. This brings us to the notorious Dennis Rodman, because in the middle of the 1997-1998 NBA season, Rodman did something unexpected. Bro went to Las Vegas.
I come to practice, Phil calls me and says, Dennis wants to tell you something. Dennis says, I need a vacation. And I look at Phil and say, Phil, what do you mean, vacation? He says, he needs a vacation. He needs some time off to let loose. We look at Dennis and said, Dennis, what are you gonna do? He says, well, I need to go to Vegas.
Now, if this was any other player, a midseason vacation would be forbidden. But since this is the eccentric and colorful Dennis Rodman, head coach Phil Jackson decided to let it slide. Only under one condition. Dennis had to return within 48 hours. Chances of that happening, 0.
He didn't come back on time. We had to go get his ass out of bed. And I'm not gonna say what's in his bed and where he was and blah, blah, blah.
There's a knock on the door. It's Michael Jordan. And I hid. I didn't want him to see me like that, so I'm just hiding behind the couch with covers over me. Come on, we gotta get to practice.
I'm not sure which is crazier, Dennis's trip to Vegas or MJ going to his hotel room to personally drag him out of bed. But you know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. On the other hand, teams are a lot more willing to put up with Ja Morant's antics. That doesn't mean it'll stay that way. The drama first started in a 2022 pickup basketball game at Ja Morant's house, where tempers flared between Ja Morant and a 17-year-old Joshua Holloway. Only in this case, both Morant and Holloway were acting like kids, and it all started with a simple basketball to the face.
The ball came, hit in my face, I flinched back like this. So I'm like, what you want? Like that.
How did you feel when his shoulder bumped you and stepped back like that?
That's fight.
You thought he wanted to fight you?
Yeah.
Did you think he was about to hit you?
Yeah.
But rather than taking it like a man, Ja Morant channeled his inner dude perfect and turned into a rage monster. Unable to control his temper, Morant lashed out at the boy, leaving a large knot on the boy's head. Soon after, he went inside the house, only to return with a gun tucked in his pants. That's right, this bro was willing to end it all over a pickup game. Someone remind him this ain't no Grand Theft Auto. However, Morant claims he was acting in self-defense. He told the authorities that the teenager left shouting, "I'm gonna come back and light this place up like fireworks." If this is indeed the case, Ja Morant may have gotten lucky, but this luck won't last forever. See, last season, Morant made a huge mistake. He was sick and tired of losing, and following a loss to the Denver Nuggets, he took his anger to social media. In the early hours of March 4th, Morant went live on Instagram from inside a nightclub. That's when his 9 million Instagram followers saw something they weren't expecting. Showing a gun on Instagram? That's the definition of getting caught in 4K. This ain't Nerf or nothing. This is life and death. Although, not according to Ja Morant. Just 2 months later, bro did it again. At this point, Morant left the NBA with no choice. They suspended him for the first 25 games of the 23-24 NBA season. And not just that, people were pissed. Whether he realized it or not, his actions were bigger than basketball. That's when a group of activists acted out.
Trying to make a statement about gun violence after Grizzlies star Ja Morant was possibly flashing a gun in a video again.
It's crazy to think that one person's influence can make such a difference. When you use your platform in the right way, good things happen. But when you use your platform to indirectly promote gun violence, it negatively affects those around you. But the saddest part of it all, my man used ChatGPT to write his apology. I mean, this dude really issued the most generic apology in the history of apologies. But who knows? Maybe Ja Morant is a changed man. And if so, this is the perfect chance to start using his platform for good. No guns, no fights with teenagers, and more importantly, no more ChatGPT. After all, actions speak louder than words. So if Ja Morant wants to get his career back on track, he's got to prove it. Which reminds me, I can tell you why you should watch the video on the screen using words, or you can just watch the video and find out for yourself. So if you don't want to lose control like my man Ja Wick, click the video.